Hey, students and parents. Today we have our esteemed guest, Lori Friedman and Dr. Louis from University of St. Thomas of USA with us, and I would be happy to get couple of questions answered from them, which can help you to take a better decision to decide on study in USA breed. Welcome both of you in today's podcast. I wanted to ask a couple of questions to you, which might be of interest to the prospective students of our region and which might help them to better finalize their decision to study in USA. So first question is for you, team. Please introduce University of St. Thomas briefly, including history, location, ranking, etc.
Certainly. So the University of St. Thomas is not on the east coast of the United States, and it's not on the west coast of the United States, and it's not down in Texas. It's actually in the heart of the United States, in the middle, where, first of all, the cost of living is much cheaper. The people are far friendlier. This place, Minnesota, every year gets ranked as one of the friendliest, most internationally friendly, one of the safest places in the United States. That's where we are in the northern part of the United States in the state of Minnesota. This school was founded in the 1870s with the intent on providing an education to those who otherwise couldn't get a quality education. Originally set up by the Catholic Church for Irish students, we now have more than half our student body is not Catholic. Faculty and staff is a mix of all religions or no religion. And what we offer is a private education with a large school, 10,000 students, but our programs and our offerings are taught by faculty in small classrooms. That gives us a ranking in the top 150 in the United States. And every year, we come back as the second best return on investment in Minnesota. That means for every dollar spent for that education, the lifetime earning of the student gets the greatest return. And why it's second? We have the fabulous Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, an excellent world-class medical facility, and their school has students who all become very rich doctors. So they come in first, but we come in second over every other school in Minnesota. So it's a beautiful location and a safe and friendly and welcoming environment. Our school is in a neighborhood, not in the heart of a city, but between the heart of two cities, between two downtowns, Minneapolis and St. Paul. We're right on the Mississippi River, a gorgeous city.
Yeah, that's correct. Lori, for you, which all programs, major programs are offered by University of St. Thomas, and what are the admission criteria for bachelor's and master's program offered by different schools at University of St. Thomas?
Absolutely. So at the University of St. Thomas, we are a liberal arts institution, but with strong STEM programs. So we have very strong programs. We have 4 different types of undergraduate engineering programs, which are ranked in the top 25 in the U.S. We also have strong business programs, and our entrepreneurship is ranked number 19 now in the U.S. And then computer science is our number 1 major for incoming freshmen at the University of St. Thomas. So computer science, data analytics, and then we are also strong in the sciences, biology, chemistry, neuroscience, psychology, things like that. Our admission criteria for undergraduate is around 70% marks. Our graduate programs, we do have graduate programs in AI and data science and software engineering, as well as business analytics and operations and supply chain management, both which are STEM designated programs.
Even supply chain management.
Supply chain management at the graduate level is STEM designated program. Mm-hmm. And so we have admission into that. We don't require GRE or GMAT or anything like that for those programs. Mm-hmm. And so we can apply for admission to those programs as well.
Correct. One unique question for you, team, is like how currently the U.S. university are adopting their resources to utilize them for international students to make them more employable.
Absolutely. and I'm going to have Lori give some examples from our university on how we do this. What has become clear in the U.S. is that international students shouldn't just come and act like one of the students who grew up in the United States. We need to provide better support, but also better career opportunities. So we have to connect any kinds of majors with real-world problems and real-world opportunities. It happens to be why St. Thomas is really good. We're in a really interesting business ecosystem. We have 17 Fortune 500 companies who make their international headquarters there. That is the most per capita anywhere in the United States. And why are they there? Because of the quality of life and the educational opportunities. So they partner with schools like us to provide job opportunities so that you get real opportunities to practice. You're not doing computer science just at your desk in your room, but you're actually working with businesses. And can you give some examples such as what engineering is doing?
Sure. Our engineering program has a senior design clinic where students can work hand in hand with a company to solve real-world problems. Also, some statistics for you. 80% of St. Thomas students have an internship by the time they graduate St. Thomas, and within 6 months of graduating St. Thomas, 97% of our students have a job or have started graduate school. One other amazing experience that our undergraduate students get to have, we are an undergraduate-focused university, and by doing so, the research opportunities at St. Thomas are focused on undergraduate students as opposed to graduate students at some other universities. So our students are doing research hand-in-hand with professors. They are presenting at conferences. They are getting published. They are getting strong recommendations for graduate school. Excellent opportunities at St. Thomas.
And it's important to us to make sure that the international students get that as well. It helps our other students, but it helps connect in why come to the U.S. if you're not going to embed yourself in some of the programs and some of the businesses. So it helps bring that country closer to you.
So from your explanation, I realized that even while pursuing a bachelor's program, which is an undergrad program, international students can participate in research activities. And
Absolutely.
This is something very few students from our region know, that the general perception is the research activities can only be conducted after completion of master's. I know it is not the case, but this is something the students should know.
We actually have an office dedicated to undergraduate research opportunities.
And I'll give you the example. As a college professor in the Department of Biology, like most faculty in the STEM fields, I would have a group of research students, many of whom are getting their work-study payment to be part of that research as an undergraduate, no graduate students. And my students, including international students, would be doing field work, would be doing the research, writing it up, and getting their names on publications in peer-reviewed journals. As international students, it didn't matter, fully participating in our STEM programs.
Right. When it comes to pursuing a bachelor's program from any US university, a general perception among students and parents are that it is way expensive. Means none of these students or majority of the students from India can't afford that. So can you highlight or can you throw some light about these scholarship opportunities offered to students who is coming to University of St. Thomas to pursue their bachelor's, and up to what are the criteria and up to what level of amount they can you can offer the scholarship amount?
Absolutely. So we give competitive merit scholarships at St. Thomas. We give a percentage merit scholarship off tuition, and we give an average of 60% merit scholarship off of tuition. The highest we give typically is 70%, but we are excited to announce that for this coming fall, we are granting an additional $10,000 per year for a student on top of the merit scholarship for those with high financial need for this coming fall intake. We are giving one of those scholarships specifically designated for India. Mm-hmm. So very excited to announce that. We also have full tuition scholarships available for both entrepreneurship and business. Full tuition scholarships. Now that deadline is January 6th, so you don't have to be admitted to apply, but they do need to apply for the scholarship by January 6th. That's a cohort of 10 students in entrepreneurship chosen 10 students and in business chosen. So that has to be a major of interest. And those are full tuition scholarships. Now, for the business scholarship, there is additional funding for living expenses if they have high financial needs. So that is something we can discuss at the time, but it's highly competitive as there's a selection and interview process for those scholarships.
So if we consider, let's say, what as you explained, if we consider like a 60% of scholarship on an average offered to an Indian student, then considering that, what will be the cost of tuition fees and living coming down?
Yes, the tuition, the all-inclusive living cost, tuition, health insurance, books and supplies would be around $40,000 US for a 60% scholarship. Now, that scholarship is given for all 4 years.
Great.
They just need to maintain good academic standing.
Good.
And so that is something that they can guarantee for all 4 years, and that is merit-based. So the higher the grades, the higher the scholarship. I should also mention that we don't require SAT, ACT, or letter of recommendation statement of purpose.
Good.
And for English proficiency, a B2 on the CBSE is sufficient. Good. So we're trying to reduce the obstacles and making more accessible for students to apply.
And could you explain about work study, how that might add to what they have in their pocket?
Yeah, so we also have significant on-campus employment opportunities for international students and all students. Working 10 hours a week in the U.S. at St. Thomas for an on-campus good job just for the academic year, 9 months, could earn them about $4,000 US. Correct. So while that's not necessarily a funded tuition, definitely pizza money is what we call it.
Correct. Team, from your experience, because most of the students, while deciding their further or higher education, they always wanted to choose a course which would have a high demand of employment chance in coming time. So from your experience, can you explain that in coming 5 to 10 years span of time, which key fields or industry would see a considerable growth in US?
Absolutely. One of the primary growth areas is health related. And that's whether it's direct care of the patient or it's doing research on technological products that help, such as innovations in heart maintenance equipment. The aging population around the world is creating a huge growth in the need for knowledge, research, and opportunities in health. In addition, artificial intelligence, computer science, those areas are going to be major growth. Those are not going away. Those are only going to become embedded even further in the fabric of our society. So specialties in that area will be really important. And then business, entrepreneurship, and particularly international business. They'll be able to provide links for companies between, say, India and another country. So the business entrepreneurial, which we rate what?
Right.
The kinds of computer science opportunities and health science opportunities are all going to be important areas where job opportunities are expanding rapidly.
I seen over a period of last, I would say a decade, most of the students after completing their 12th standard are trying to select any program, even here in India or abroad, related to just computer science and ID industry. And one way or another way, students and parents have their perception that core engineering industries like a mechanical, electrical, or civil would not have that much of employment opportunities. Is that true?
Not at all true. As that technology improves, it embeds itself everywhere, whether you're talking civil engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, kind of research going on in those areas is just rapidly growing. Those are going to provide all the answers for how we feed a world with this many people, how we drive and improve infrastructure. Engineering, broadly writ, is a huge growth field.
Correct. So even core engineering fields are still there in demand.
Core traditional engineering fields are growing. They're not going away, and they're taking advantage of the technology,
Correct.
the research that comes from computer science. They're blending them together, producing new solutions to problems.
So mechanical...
Those solutions to problems are what society needs.
Correct. So mechanical with the aid of computer technologies become like a robotics or automation, something
Absolutely.
like that. Correct. Lori, when we consider a normal Indian students considering to apply to any, admission or bachelor's or master's program in USA, he or she would have an options of more than 4,000 higher education institutions. It is always difficult for any students or parents to decide on an institution, which institute they should select upon. So can you highlight some unique points about the University of St. Thomas, which can inspire Indian students to join University of St. Thomas and be a part of your vibrant university?
Absolutely. At St. Thomas, as mentioned, we're a private institution. We have small class sizes. We will know your name. We know students' names. We've met them abroad and continue to see them here. We have one team in our international office focused on that, from recruitment through alumni. We focus on personal attention.
So it's a personalized learning experience. Yeah.
Focus on relationship building. We meet students at the airport. We meet with them one-on-one in our office when they arrive and do an extended orientation program, and then meet with them again on week 8 in midterms with the same person we met when they first arrived. We develop and build relationships, and that's not just in our office, that's in the residence halls, that's through clubs, on-campus employment opportunities, and in the classroom. We have strong residence halls and a community, and we have a strong growing Indian community both on campus and in the Twin Cities. So what I would say is that we would take care of your child if you're a parent. We will know them, we will build relationships with them, and we will be their home away from home, their support system.
And I would say, don't take our word for it. Talk to our students. Any school you're considering, talk to the current students. Our students will do the best job explaining to you what made their choice of St. Thomas work for them and why it was so special. When our students talk to students from other schools, they can't believe what the other schools are not doing for them, that they just assume is normal because we do. And they'll say, your school doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, and St. Thomas does. Talk to our students.
Correct. Since pandemic, work pattern and environment in India has changed a lot, and I'm sure similarly in US as well. So can you throw some light on like how the landscape of work environment and working pattern and employability has changed over a period of time after pandemic in USA?
Yeah, so it's interesting that the pandemic taught a lot of places of employment that you don't have to be physically present to do that. So it expanded the workforce so that you could be in one country and be facilitating work in another, or another part of the United States, or simply just not having to commute in every day. It also taught the importance of people and people's skills, because it turns out that as humans, we need to be able to relate to each other. This is why we come to visit you, right? Sure. Because being in person actually does matter. So on one hand, it taught that you can do your work from far away, but it reemphasized the importance of time together and those personal skills that have to be part of it as well. So it was interesting how it tore us apart, and then it's brought us back together, and it's brought the workforce back together in ways we hadn't imagined it would.
Correct. Lori, as I know, University of St. Thomas offers more than 150 programs at bachelor's and master's level. From your experience being a director of International Admissions Office, can you highlight some name of few programs which are of more interest you found out among international students?
Yes, we found out the last few years our top major for incoming freshmen on the international student side is computer science. Mm-hmm. It is growing. A few years ago it was mechanical engineering, and now that has taken second place. So computer science, data analytics is very, very strong at the undergraduate level as far as interest goes. And I would say mechanical engineering is next, along with business.
Correct.
As well.
Correct. Very interesting questions for you, team. What type of impact it will have on international student recruitment after having a new president or new leadership in US in place?
Yeah. What I would tell you is watch what a person does, not what they say. Our current political environment in the US calls for extreme words to move people and impress people. But the new president is not a fool. He's a businessman. And he is going to look at what affects U.S. business. And international students are a important industry for us and an important part of how our country does its economics and grows. So the words sometimes get extreme, but the actions will almost certainly be things that help grow the business, not hurt it. So listen, but pay attention to what's being done, not what's being said.
Correct. Any specific message from your experience being in this industry which can appeal Indian students, to finalize their decision to join University of St. Thomas or to finalize US as a study destination? Any specific message or appeal you wanted to convey?
I think we both have a separate message here. What I would tell you is the fact that the University of St. Thomas is offering a specific India scholarship, the fact that we are here physically in India trying to make these personal connections shows you that we understand how important India is in the world, that it's the fastest growing economy in the world, the largest population. You can't be relevant and not know India. You can't do business in today's world and not know India. And we recognize the importance of India. And the University of St. Thomas, from its new president on down, has made building partnerships and connections in India a top priority. So one message is, we're here to stay, and we mean to build long-term relationships.
And I'll add, when you're looking into colleges and universities in the U.S., and I suggest you look into location. Look into Minnesota. You may not have heard of it. That doesn't mean it's not worth coming. Look into Minnesota. Look into the Twin Cities, which is Minneapolis and St. Paul. We are in the middle of two downtowns on the Mississippi River, about 10 to 15 minutes from two downtown areas, which is one of the biggest ecosystems for internships and employment opportunities, 15 minutes from an international airport with direct nonstop flights to Europe. And a very strong Gujarati community in the Twin Cities, which has many different celebrations throughout the year. And also on campus, we have 140 clubs at St. Thomas, including Diwali night and Holi celebrations and all sorts of cultural dinners. But look at the location. We have 4 seasons. Yes, we have snow, and it's fun. It's good to get out of your comfort zone and experience new things. It's 4 years of an undergraduate experience. When else can you have the opportunity to experience all 4 seasons snow in the state of Minnesota?
And if I'm not wrong, the Twin Cities are famous to have a shopping of clothes and footwear? Or, I'm not sure, but something is that.
We have the largest mall in the U.S., so it's called the Mall of America, which is about 10 to 15 minutes away also, right next to the airport. And we have no sales tax on clothes.
No sales tax on clothes. So clothes are cheaper in Minnesota.
Correct. Everything is more affordable. And we have a very low cost of living in Minnesota compared to some of the coastal areas. So your money can get you farther.
Correct. Well, thank you so much, Lori and team, to visit my office and to have this conversation with me. And I'm expecting many of my viewers can get in touch with you very soon. And some of them can be your students very soon in coming fall 2025. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us and for continuing this friendship.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey viewers, they have a special message for you in Gujarati.
Jaldi Malishu in the University of St. Thomas.
Aujo students.
Thank you so much.